Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the 2023 BMW 330i. This is finished off in Brooklyn Gray Metallic. It has the M Sport and M Sport Pro package, putting the MSRP just over $53,000. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this family style sedan for me today. Check out their website. They have a huge selection of new and pre-owned inventory. That link is down in the description. So powering the 330i is a 2-liter 4-cylinder twin power turbo engine. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic, pumping out 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the rear wheels, propelling this 3,700-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds, up to its top speed of 156 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 25 miles per gallon in the city, 34 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.2 inches. Its overall length is 185.7. It has a width of 71.9 and a height of 57 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this 330i, a part of the M Sport Pro package and the M Sport package in general is all of the gloss black accents. So up front, the entire surround for the kidney grille is finished off in gloss black. This even has active grille shutters, so this back section will open up to provide more cooling and better aerodynamics. More gloss black for the rest of the inserts for that grille, along with in the lower section. This does have parking sensors up front, a lot more cutouts, even functional air inlets on the far corners to provide even more airflow. Now this also has a set of LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with a really nice sleek housing. So they match that thin grille very nicely coming off of that, and of course having the rest of the design. And then 2 lines come down the hood. They kind of go away as they get towards the top of the grille. So very faint lines up front, but it gives it a fantastic look, especially paired with the Brooklyn Gray. Now as we work our way to the side, more gloss black for these 19-inch wheels that have that double spoke design to them with the red M Sport brake calipers just behind that. There's also a small indentation just behind the tire that leads to the rest of that line for the lower side skirt. The side mirrors are power folding, they're gloss black, and have the turn signal too. There's a sunroof for this model. All of the window trim is blacked out as well. And I think it has a really good look to it, especially with all of the gloss black accents. That makes its way to this very small trunk mounted spoiler. There's the backup camera, LED taillights, all the sensors, and then you guessed it, more gloss black and parking sensors in that lower diffuser. There's also the dual exhaust, which you can remote start. So let's take a listen to it. All I need to do to activate that is triple tap the lock button. You can turn that on and off if you would like to as well, and then you can just triple tap on the same button to shut this off as needed. So it's a pretty cool system. You can have that ready to go with the AC going and everything set up. And then for the trunk, you can use the button on the key fob or up underneath, where this has a good amount of storage. This is a family style vehicle, so there's plenty of room for any items that you'd like to place, with a bin located on both sides. And then you can fold down the back seats to give yourself a lot more space. So just by pulling on those tabs, you will notice with them folded down just how much more interior storage that provides you. So you can fit in a lot of items, making it that much more practical. Now up top, there is a grab handle hidden on the back side, and with that lightweight trunk lid, it is easy to close. Now as we work our way to the back seats, you can lock and unlock these doors by using the door handle itself, which is a convenient feature to have. And for this interior, we have black leather along with the brushed aluminum and interior lighting, Harman Kardon sound system, more brushed aluminum for that release handle, and a little bit of storage is located in the lower section. And then we have the black leather interior, which is a good combo with this Brooklyn Gray. Now at 5'10", I have plenty of space. There's storage nets behind both front seats, climate adjustments in the middle, some USB-Cs, and I have maybe an inch, half inch or so above my head. It's a comfortable seat. I could ride around town, be comfortable in the back, maybe have 2 other people in the back as well. And if you have no one in the middle, you can fold this armrest down. It provides you with 2 cup holders, so you can open these up and use those as needed. And then you can also fold down this middle seat individually. So if you need better access into the back, maybe you just want a taller armrest, you have the option to do that. And then it's very open feeling in the back. We have dome lights up top. There's a lot of light and space. So it is a practical family style vehicle. It's on the smaller side. You can go with the 5 or 7 series if you need a little bit more space. But for the size of this, it's definitely very practical. Now the door panel up front is just like the rear. There's the memory seating adjustments, side mirror and window adjustments, even a trunk release too. And of course the same design as the rear. And then for these beautiful seats, they are automatic, so all those adjustments are down on the side. However, it does have the manual adjustment for the leg support. So if you need to pop that out, you can do that. And then we have the lumbar support controls located at the bottom too. And this is a low sedan, so it's very easy to get into. Now the steering wheel is solid leather. It's heated with the M Sport badge down below. Cruise control is on the left side. Right side, there's volume and tuning, and then some Bluetooth and voice commands. This even has the brushed aluminum paddle shifters with the rest of those accents to match. Well, let's fire this back up so we can go over the rest of this information with the all-new gauge cluster and infotainment system. And then coming back to the gauge cluster, on the left side, there's miles per hour. It's also right in the middle currently. And then on the right side, there is the tach. Now, if I push on this button right in the middle, that will pop up with the content icon that you just saw. So I can scroll through some various information, just depending on what you need to see for the day, pulling up the map, which is always helpful. There's also a G-force meter that you can look at, and then you have your music, and that is it. So you have a little bit that you can scroll through. Now you can also change the layout that this is configured in. So just by going to layout now and changing that, you'll see 3 different settings basically, just depending on how you would like to view this. And this last one here just makes this information a little bit larger. So you can scroll through it, of course. We can pull up that map in an even larger screen. So it just depends on what you need to see for the day and how you would like this to be set up. And then the last one is for the head-up display. So there are a few different settings. There's more of a calm screen that just shows you your miles per hour and the speed limit. You can add the compass to that, add the tach to that as well. And then the reduced view is very similar to the standard view, just a little bit different of a shape. So it's nice that you have those adjustments, very quick and easy to go through. Now on the left side, there's all the headlight adjustments along with the dimmer switch. There's one air vent. And then working our way to the infotainment system now, this is a very easy system to go through. So the home icon is in the upper left, where we can go through all of these icons very quickly. You can set these up just depending on what you'd like to see, and even add some more info as needed. Now also on this left side, these are all shortcuts. So you can get into all of the navigation settings very quickly, get into your phone when that is paired, and then go into the music to adjust all of that. If you push on the 4 squares, that brings up a lot more icons. So we can go into all of these apps, or you can separate them based on info or the vehicle apps. But you can scroll through your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, you have your lighting, along with your climate adjustments. This is how you can go into your remote start too. And then you have your driving settings too. Now, as you can tell, I am not using the screen at the moment because there are adjustments located down below. So there's the rotary dial and then all these shortcuts up top where you can quickly get through the rest of this information. So there's quite a lot to offer, and it is very easy to use. Now, as you've been able to tell, the lower section is fixed. So there are no physical buttons for the climate adjustments. That is with this new screen style, but the lower section is always there. So you always know how to get to them very quickly. It doesn't matter what screen you are on. And for this model, we do have heated seats, and then temperature and where you'd like the air to go. And then there's also controls on this left and right side. You can push on those to also bring this info up if needed. So again, very easy to use. Now underneath that, we have this really neat intricate design running through that trim piece with brushed aluminum underneath that. 2 air vents are right in the middle, and then there's power and tuning along with hazards and some defrosters. And then for this lid, it gets that same design. This is actually an option. So the standard is gloss black, or you can opt for this aluminum type looking material, which is pretty cool. Now underneath that, there's the wireless charging pad, 2 cup holders, and some auxiliaries. And then with this all new shifter, if I push this forwards, that is for reverse. So the backup camera is on that left side, top down view is on the right side. Drive is going to be all the way back. If I do that one more time, That is for sport mode, so that allows you to use the paddle shifters. And then park is located just behind that, so just by pushing on the P, of course. Now there's traction control along with the parking sensors, the engine start-stop feature, and then a few different driving modes that you can go through. So by clicking on sport, the infotainment system and the gauge cluster will change to red. There's a few different settings that you can go through within that. There's also a comfort setting and then a few different eco settings, just depending on how you would like to drive your 330 for the day. Now the e-brake and auto hold is just behind that. And then for the center armrest, there is an auxiliary, so you could charge some more electronics as well as placing additional items. And then along with the glove box space, you definitely have a lot of interior storage, which is very helpful. Now this has the sunroof, which is automatic. So there's the adjustment for both the sunshade and the sunroof itself. And then a look at visibility from the driver's seat. Very easy to see over both shoulders. The dome lights are also located up top as well. As we set off now behind the wheel for the 330i, like I mentioned earlier, this model is just over 53 grand. We have a few different packages that I already went over, including the premium package too. So we have a well-equipped entry-level style BMW for about the price of an average vehicle in today's market. So if you're not looking for anything larger, but you want a nice driving vehicle, you want some sporty characteristics, you can hop into this 330i. Now it has the smaller engine, 2-liter 4-cylinder of course, so it's not like the inline 6 cylinders that BMW offers. So it has not as much power of course, but it's still pretty peppy, and that was just in the normal comfort setting. We can put it into sport mode to get a little bit more out of that throttle. But this is, and you get a little bit of that exhaust too. This is a fun car to drive. I've been in it before. And you can hear that exhaust get a little bit louder when you put it into sport mode. So just depending on how you want to drive. But for 50 grand, I think this is a really cool option. You are in territory that some other vehicles are going to be in. Let's say like a Toyota Camry or a Toyota Avalon. Something like that, you could get into a BMW for about the same price as something like that. The models like that will be a little bit more fully loaded, but this one is almost pretty much fully loaded for that price. So honestly, I think I would want to go with a European style vehicle if you can get into it for the same cost. And BMWs are very fun to drive. They're very reliable too. And I can't see any issues with this. It's a really nice model. I get to drive a lot of BMWs, so I do like their performance, and even in a smaller one like this, paddles are super responsive, which is nice to see, and we have a good layout with the amount of tech that I went over. Now, as far as driving this, it's what you'd expect from a BMW. Very comfortable and quiet. The different driving modes don't affect the suspension, so it does have a fixed suspension that just does your throttle input. But it's nice. It drives like you would think or expect a BMW should drive. You can hear that engine a little bit, which is nice too. Not the quickest, but if you're just looking for a very nice, smaller size sedan, this is a perfect option to go with. And from second gear, here we go. And just a light acceleration, we're up to speed. Shifts are very smooth and precise. So even though this isn't a highly performance-oriented BMW, we still have the responsive paddles and shifting, which is nice, especially with this having the M Sport package. You want it to have a little bit more of that performance. And it definitely gives you that. It's just not the quickest. If performance and speed is not important to you, it's still a phenomenal vehicle, don't get me wrong. You can get other models, of course, that are going to be more performance oriented or focused. But in this 330, if you want a little bit more performance, you want some sportier characteristics, it's a good option to go with. Now I have noticed for the $53,000 price tag, you really don't have that small of a vehicle for the money. So when you compare to some other vehicles in a similar price range and about the same size,
it's really not all that small. So I do like the room that is available and offered. I could easily fit in the back, and you have a really nice daily driving vehicle. If you don't want something that's very large, it's so easy to drive, maneuver in parking lot situations, and you just want the refinements of a luxury brand, this is a great BMW to get into. And realistically, this costs less than some other, even American companies with a similar style vehicle. So BMW's luxury brands are more affordable than you may think. And so you could get yourself into a BMW for the similar price of something else that might not be quite as refined feeling as a BMW. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this 2023 BMW 330i with the M Sport package. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Definitely check out their website. That link is down below. Give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and smash that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.